All right, guys, welcome to another episode of the Manifest Your Dreams podcast. We are on episode 3 and we have a special guest here. All right, so we have the Rita Ivy from Liberated Consciousness. And how you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm here with my brother.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about, right? So today is a special highlight episode where we want to highlight someone in the community that is making an impact and just helping people out overcome challenges. So today we're going to be asking her a few questions about her nonprofit, and then if you guys have questions, you can post them on our YouTube channel. Okay, so with that being said, we're going to jump right in. I do want to ask you, I always like to ask about you as the person. So where are you from? You're 6'3", you're a model, so tell us about yourself.
You're so funny for the 6'3" part, but thank you. Thank you for the altitude. So originally from Ohio. Okay, born in Youngstown, raised in Columbus.
Okay.
Shout out OH.
Ohio. Okay.
So I'm actually 5'10" and a half. Okay, might as well say 5'11". We'll just put that on there. You know what I'm saying?
6 foot. Okay.
It works. You know, it works. Either way, it's above average height. And yes, I do model, so that's been fun. I just recently got into that, probably 2022, 2023.
Okay.
Yeah, it's something I always wanted to do, actually. Do you remember Barbizon? I don't know if there's anybody out there who remembers Barbizon, but it was like a modeling type of coach college back in the day. So this is when I was 11 or 12.
Okay, wow, okay. No, I hadn't even heard of it.
Yeah, so my grandmother, I believe she had paid for a class for me or something because it was something I really, really wanted to do.
Okay.
But I didn't really get into it after that just because, my life story with the, religious upbringing and how that goes.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm able to get back into it now, so it's been a lot of fun. So I've ripped up some runways here in Tampa Bay, you know, Cocktails and Couture, did that.
Okay.
I've done Tampa Bay Fashion Week, which I'm gonna do that again this year.
Ooh.
I'm gonna audition,
Okay. You got to audition. Okay.
You do.
I don't know. I don't even know.
Yeah, sometimes you have to audition, but if you get in with the designers, they kind of know your measurements and stuff, and they'll know and they'll want to work with you again.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I like the audition process. Keeps me sharp. Make sure I keep practicing my stride.
Okay. That's what's
up.
So
yeah, doing that and trying to get signed. That's great. There's a couple of agencies here, commercial, modeling agencies, in Orlando especially, that I'm looking at signing to. So, you might see me in a Publix ad or something, or, nice little Ashley furniture ad. Who knows? But, that's the goal, is to get into commercial lifestyle.
So you want to get
modeling.
into acting too?
I mean, of course.
Okay.
Was of course.
Okay. All right. I love it. Okay.
I'm going to get into all the things.
All the things. Y'all hear
things.
that? Agencies that are watching, she's available. Book her.
I'm just saying.
You know what I'm saying? Let's go. We chasing these dreams together.
Yes.
So I didn't even start off the right way. I didn't even share about myself. But so, my name's Duvet Weaver, also known as Coach D Online. I am the founder of Closer to Our Dreams, which is a motivational, inspirational company focused on helping people achieve their goals and dreams. And so we do that by hosting networking events, bringing big dreamers together. We host workshops, and we are in the process of hosting a big conference next year, which I'm really excited about. So with that being said, I do want to jump right in and learn more about you, Rita. Okay, so what was the moment you realized you were called to do inner healing and consciousness work? And how did that lead to the birth of Liberated Consciousness?
Okay, great question. It's very loaded, so we're going to unpack it one at a time. So I can't say that there was one specific moment. There were several moments throughout this process. So for the larger audience who doesn't know, I used to be a part of a spiritually coercive environment, one in which I have been shunned or expelled from for the last 5 years, so 2020. So within the first 9 to 12 months, it's extremely disorienting, trying to get reacclimated to basically a new life, new mindset, new concepts of thinking. So breaking that down, I still have moments, honestly, where I'm like, oh, this is why I'm doing this, right?
Okay.
But it essentially came from me speaking at a protest, or should I say a demonstration in front of the White House in 2020. 3.
Okay.
It was basically to bring awareness to shunning and the dangers of it and how psychologically devastating it is, and that it's a precursor or it's the indicator for suicide. Yes. Obviously, right? You come from a community where you have support and love, and then you go to nothing, not having access to even a parent, or in my case, like I'm alienated from my child because of it. So it's been little moments like that to where when I spoke out and I had people come to me and say, wow, how powerful it was for me to speak out about shunning. That was like one of the moments where it was like, I think I can volunteer as tribute and be able to inspire other people to speak up and to have their voices heard. So that was that moment. Yeah, it was very empowering, and
Yeah, they say, and man, I'm getting chills as I talk about this. When I started speaking, almost like 13 years ago, there's a guy I met with, Donald Derridge. Met him in Tampa, and what he was telling me, it was a gem in itself. He says, what happens to us is not for us. It's for us to be able to help those that go through the same thing. So he's like, you overcame it. You overcome what you overcome so that you can come back and help those that still are struggling with it. So it's like, it's a beautiful thing where, like, I know in the moment, sometimes it's overwhelming, but then you doing that and understanding, this is a bigger purpose. This is a bigger calling on my life. And that's powerful.
Thank you for that. Because there's no nonprofits in the space doing specifically what my organization is going to do.
Okay.
It's been nice to be okay with being out there, to be seen. Essentially a sacrificial lamb in this particular space. So when I met those individuals after that demonstration, I just could not. Like, I wanted to be able to continue that movement of hope, that courage for people to say, wow, if she can, then I can too. Or at least to feel like, okay, she's including me and with her voice, so that, was essentially the birth of Liberated Consciousness. In addition to, of course, the founder, like, he was born and raised in a coercive environment. So for him, it's like, we need support. We need community. How do we go about getting that? And so seeing a need in the industry and filling a gap.
Okay, love it. And that's going to kind of go into our next question is for those unfamiliar, which I can be, a lot of people, how would you describe what liberated consciousness means and the transformation it offers people? And I think the key word there is transformation.
It definitely is a transformation. So we as individuals are constantly being programmed to think and believe a certain way. It's all external forces telling us this is right, this is wrong. So the transformation that Liberated Consciousness offers is a space where people can arrive at their own moral, spiritual compass, where they can develop their own consciousness, first by becoming aware of themselves, right? To be okay with, one, if you want to follow the traditional concepts of morality or the traditional forms of spirituality, you can. But if you also want to take an alternative approach, you can too, right? Because there's this thing that we've encountered where, wait, are you anti-religion now? Are you anti-God? Or, and it's like, no, I'm not anti-anything. I'm pro-choice. I'm pro-human rights when it comes to your freedom of conscience, your freedom of expression, freedom of emotion. You have ownership over those things. And so with Liberated Consciousness, we want to empower people to know that it's okay for you to take a philosophical concept or a belief system from here or there and create it and make it your own. So literally, it's like a sandbox of, hey, I have this place to play around with who I am and who I want to be, because there's a lot of identity reformation that also has to happen in the process. When you come out of a coercive environment, there's no sense of self. So for people to be able to have a safe space to play around with identity and to know that, okay, you may play around with this one identity for 6-9 months. And then as you continue to grow and become more aware of how you feel, how you want to move, how do you want to present yourself to the world, you may slowly transition out of those identities or things that aren't serving you anymore. Well, guess what? We're here. We're okay with that.
Yeah.
Because I don't care what your denomination is or what you believe or what you don't believe. Because some people come out and they choose not to believe. That's their personal experience with life. And so we believe that a higher power, God, spirit, universe, whatever you want to call it, it calls and speaks to you in the way that it needs to call and speak to you. And we want to honor and respect that.
Okay. Oh, love that. Love that. So our next question is, what are the most common mental and spiritual blocks you see keeping people from manifesting their dreams?
I was going to say, when I first thought about this, I thought, what was keeping me, and sometimes still does, kind of slow me down or hold me back from reaching for something. And again, it's those preconceived like ideas or constructs that was given, whether it has to do with your role from a gender perspective, whether it has to do with the role you played within that particular religious or spiritual structure, such as family, a wife, a husband, or whatever. So you have those moments of shame to where maybe you didn't fulfill that role. And so now you're like, what do I do if I go after that dream? It's anti what this role is predefined for, right? So it's a square. I've been square over here this whole time, but guess what? Now I'm shaped like a star. So how do I, you know, and it's like, it's okay.
Don't fit.
You don't. Yeah, you do. Because now you just create your own star and you
Well, I'm
plug
saying
yourself.
fit in that construct of, like, if you're supposed to be a square, then if you're anything other than square, you don't fit.
Correct.
That's what I mean. Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So that shame, guilt comes with that as well. So I see shame and guilt for sure, because there's the speaking out. There's the being able for me to say, I no longer want to be square. I no longer want to abide by these four corners or these four walls. So there's that, the shame and guilt that is associated with that, with wanting to do something different, wanting to think something different. So those would probably be some of the top limiting, I say, beliefs or ideas that hold back.
Okay. Now this next one is going to be a little more personal, because again, we want to know about the Rita Ivy. Also, I'm calling her the Phoenix. Right. So can you walk us through a moment where you personally had to heal something in yourself in order to elevate your business or your life path?
So many things. All right.
Let's start with one.
Yeah, we only gonna do one.
Because we might need you to come back for part 2.
3, 4, and 5. You better
Okay.
believe it. It's like Star Wars up in here. You know
Let's
what I'm saying?
go. Forget a trilogy. We need whatever's after that.
All the leads.
Okay.
So I'll go with a recent moment. So accepting that the people I love still love me, but they love me in the way that they can't. Right?
Okay.
So I have a best friend, 20 years. We didn't go a day without talking to each other, like every day. Like so much so that we even had our own language, basically. You know what I mean?
Pop, 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 pop.
You know what I'm saying? I'm Snap, she was Pop. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? But in the last 5 years, I've probably spoken to her maybe 4 times because of the shunning. However, she'll reach out to me out of the blue, say, for example, during a hurricane, to be like, hey, are you okay? At first, it was infuriating because I'm like, why do you care? Why reach out to me during a hurricane? Like, do you understand what my everyday life is like? Like, you know me, like, you know my struggles, like all of my things. And now I'm out here alone and I don't even have you to talk to, you know? So whenever she would reach out, it was insulting, you know? But now I was able to heal and accept the fact that she's doing what she feels is right by her conscience, by her moral code. And I had to question, am I okay with receiving her version of love? Because love is an action for me. It's not like of the feels. I know love is as love does. So while I'm absent of all these actions, I'm like, I got 4 text messages in 5 years. You don't love me, you know? So I had to become okay with that. So learning to accept that there are other forms or versions of love, and still being able to hold on to those parts of the people that I have had in my life forever that are no longer in my life, and just to be able to cherish those nuggets, that has really helped me develop. It has given me clearer vision for the nonprofit. It allows me to be more aligned even with the vision of the nonprofit. So it's literally a continual liberation of my consciousness. Like your mind state just continually grows. So I take that same lesson and I apply it to my relationship with my mom, which is essentially the same way, right? So if she reaches out to me at random, instead of being triggered and upset, I'm like, this is her showing me love. I'm on her mind. She reached out. The relationship is not ever going to look like it used to look. And I had to learn to accept and be okay with that.
Ooh, man. Well, some deep stuff on this episode here, man. I hope y'all ready. So next question, let's talk about money and mindset. All right, money and mindset. So how does emotional and energetic trauma affect someone's financial abundance? And how can they start healing that?
So for me, this is a new concept.
Okay.
So meaning in the last 5 years of learning about how my energy field, my aura, actually can attract wealth for me.
Okay.
I did not have a good relationship with money.
Okay.
Had to learn that. I didn't even know that having a relationship with money was like a thing.
Yeah.
So in this trauma, I have to undo the thought of pushing financial pursuits to the side, because that was how I was trained, is to be completely self-sacrificing. You do not pursue any type of wealth mindset for yourself, right? Because you're serving the organization, the bigger cause. So now it's like, okay, where do I fit in when it comes to this concept of wealth? You know, how do I not guilt myself or feeling guilty for storing up treasures or becoming materialistic, right? Those are some of the thoughts that are in scripture that are misapplied.
Okay.
So energetically, guilt and shame and not feeling like I'm going against a spiritual or moral code and saying, no, it's okay for you to have an actual physical abundance, it's a process.
Okay.
But I'm getting there.
Okay.
And I want to be there because there's so many others who are transitioning out of that coercive space who have nothing. Homeless, jobless, you know, and they're struggling, they're couch surfing, they're sleeping in their cars, or they, again, don't have anywhere to go, to where they end up in streets or on shelters and things of that nature. So I personally am trying to shed off those beliefs. I have some books that I reference, such as the 7 Spiritual Laws of Success.
Okay.
And it talks about the law of giving and receiving. And just kind of having a giving mindset to attract, because you receive what you give. So it's always putting you in the mindset of gratitude, right? So when it comes to wealth, I don't look at it as what I can always get, but it's what am I looking to receive. So I want to keep that open flow there, because I constantly want that energy to recycle itself. And that has been really good, because I've been getting some really awesome connections, because wealth looks differently. It's not just one form of currency. That's another thing I've learned about.
Could be wealth in relationships, you know what I'm saying?
Connections, relationships, access. Yes, that's right.
That. Okay.
So that's been really, really awesome. And there definitely is a connection with that mentally, to connect to that space of, okay, I'm ready to receive an abundance. Because if I was still holding on to some of those negative emotions and hatefulness and those triggers, you know what I mean? My thought of money was like, I'm gonna just get this money and then I'm gonna just be in everybody's face like, whatever, I don't need y'all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's not a healthy mindset when it comes to money. So now I'm transitioning out of that to be like, you know what, I want to be able to, this is have my little slice right here, but I want a table where I can like feed everybody else.
Yeah,
You know, I
share,
have all
share
that.
the wealth.
Yeah, and that's what is the thought that makes me happy.
That's
is
good.
I can see
I can
where
tell,
I can
'cause you
invite.
smiling. Your
Yeah, I'm
cheeks
like,
are hard.
oh, you want some? Okay, I got some for you too. Oh, you too. Yes.
You get a car. No, you get a car. No, you get a car.
You hear me?
Hey, I love it. And one of my good, I don't want to say good friends, but someone that I met a long time ago, he's big in business now. His name's Marquell Russell. Dr. Marquell Russell out of Atlanta. And one thing he talks about is we have a misconception with money and currency. And so one of the things he explains in one of his trainings is he's talking about is called currency for a reason. So it's not supposed to stay in one place, right? So a lot of us, especially the black community, they get in this where, oh, I'm going to save my money, or I'm going to put my money in the mattress. And it's like, well, that money does not flow. It's not current. So you have to be in a state of wanting your money to flow like a current. Mm-hmm. And so hoarding money does not help you. It does not serve you. It doesn't even serve the people that you want to help. So you have to be in a position to know, hey, don't be out there balling, but you figure out, hey, what are some investments that I can make that will help the whole picture? So some of that could look like investing in yourself, right? Going to, I just went to a conference in Atlanta. By far, I'm getting chills now as I talk about it, by far one of the best conferences I have been to in my entire life. So it was the Next Level Speakers Conference by my big bro, Jeremy Anderson. And when I tell you they showed up and showed out, I mean, we was in there. We felt all the emotions. Mm-hmm. We cried. We laughed. Well, we talked about our big dreams. We talked about practical ways to achieve those big dreams. And one of the things we talked about, money, currency. Knowing that, hey, you can't say you want to do all these goals and dreams, but you're not investing. If you can't invest the money, you got to be willing to invest the time, because that's your biggest asset. People don't even realize that. Like, your biggest asset is your time. So that's why you cannot afford to give your time to everybody.
Correct.
Right.
People say, "Oh, are you free?" No, I'm never free.
Right.
But if you would like to know if I'm available, then we can have a conversation.
Come on. We on the same page. All right. So next question. So how do you help high achievers balance ambition and inner peace? Right? Because that's a struggle, man. Because you can, like, as a high achiever, like, there's so many things. Like, once you accomplish something, you on to the next thing. Like, you on to I ain't even take your time to process. You know what I'm saying? Even with this podcast, I done launched this podcast. I'm like, all right, man, what's the next thing we out here doing? Chasing dreams.
Here's what I'll say.
Okay, we ready.
It's a constant effort.
Okay.
For me at this current moment, it's remembering to be present.
That's good.
Like, I've heard people say it. I heard them. Be present. Be in the moment. Be in the moment. And I'm like, yeah. But no, literally. So I'm gonna give you an example. Okay. Super simple. All right. Growing up, my parents always used cars. Mm-hmm. I wasn't gifted a car at 16, 19. I didn't know. First time, got a new car, like off the lot, drove it off the lot. Did that. Next car, brand new, same dealership, did that. Was a sports car, had a sunroof, did that. Next car after that, larger car, all the bells and whistles, panoramic sun, both front and back, did that, right? And now, we got this beautiful causeway right here, Courtney Campbell, lined with palm trees, glistening crystal water on both sides, dolphins over here, and here I am still complaining, right? So I had to learn to be present in the moment. Mm-hmm. So one day I was driving across the causeway. I had the windows down, double sunroof open, smooth playlist on, and I said, you know what? This is a moment where you can say, you made it. That dream or that idea that you had at 15 or 14 or whatever, you're like, man, I'm gonna get me a brand new car. I can't wait. This is that moment. You shouldn't still be thinking like, oh yeah, I can't wait till I get my Alfa Romeo. I can't wait till I get my No, you right here in this moment. You made it. You are the first, the only in your immediate family, brand new car, off the lot, sunroof, windows down, palm trees, dolphins. Stay in this moment. Stop trying to go to the next moment after that and what you want to do after that. When you ambitious, when you want to go, that's all you see. You like, oh, check, did that. Next thing, check, need to do that. But it's so simple. But in that moment, I literally was like, dang.
Yeah.
This is what they was talking about. You need to stay present in the moment so you can be grateful for all the work you have done.
Yes.
You have done work.
Yes.
The pudding, you in the pudding.
Right.
It's like you in the pudding.
Yes.
You know, and then it can be like, okay, do I even need to push harder in this particular regard?
Mm-hmm.
Do I need that next car for real?
Mm-hmm.
And is it for what? Is it a flex?
Mm.
Or is it coming from a place of gratitude for me to give back? For example, do I want that SUV because I want to load up some kids and be able to take them to do something?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what is my why? So that's another thing. Being present and knowing your why for every goal, every ambition that you have on your plate. That's what I would say.
Ooh, that's good. That was good. The Rita Ivy.
I'm sorry, you forgot the T in
I'm
Rita.
sorry, Rita Ivy. All right, so we got 2 more questions and then we're done, okay? So what's one major myth people believe about healing or consciousness work that you want to debunk today? I know, I'm sure it's a lot of them, but let's
it's
just
never
do one.
ending. How about that?
Okay.
For somebody who thinks that they're going to healing is not a destination, it's a journey. It is. It's a journey. It can be an adventure. It can be a road trip. Like it can be, but it's going to be continuing. Okay. So even if you go and you get back to where you feel like you first started off at, guess what? You're going to go around that again because life is constantly changing. Your environment, the people, your interactions, the relationships is constantly changing. Your health, your own chemistry within you as an individual is constantly changing. So something that you've grown from, great 2 years ago, but guess what? Now it's time for you to revisit that because you're being confronted with something where you need to come now and pull out those tools that you learned.
Okay.
So it's definitely a journey. You're never going to be done with it. And it's okay for you to not be okay during your journey. Just because something has happened that you feel is a setback or you're like, dang, I was triggered and I shouldn't have been triggered. Why did I react like that? Like, why did I do that? No, that's okay. That's a part of the journey. Like, you're imperfect. You're going to cycle through this stuff. You're going to be better, but then sometimes you won't. You won't. You know.
Yeah. My good friend, you know, Pastor Carlos Sr. I remember one day he was wearing this shirt, and it like struck me because of the wording. So it said on there on the shirt. I gotta figure out where he bought it. It said, "It's okay to not be okay." And it's really that simple. Like, it's okay to not be okay. Now, we got to also realize that we can't stay there.
Correct.
So that's where I think a lot of times, you know, people want to have like the pity party or whatever. But it's like, hey, all right, I understand where you're at, but let's address it. And then let's figure out like what are some techniques, some strategies, some modalities we can do to improve and get better.
Correct.
Right? Because you don't want to stay in that sunken place. And a lot of times what happens, I feel like as a default as humans, we isolate. That's just a default. It's just like, you know what? Some of it's like, I don't want to bother anybody else with what I've got going on. And I heard Simon Sinek say this on, I think it was the Jay Shetty podcast. And he was talking about a conversation he had with one of his friends. And he was like, the friend told him, like, you're one of the friends I would call if I was in the mud. And it's like, he was like, what an honor. I'm getting chills. Like, what an honor to be a friend that I can call when I'm in the mud, because I know, like, you're not going to tell me, oh, you need to do this. It's like, hey, I'm here to listen. I'm here to, you know, be with you in this moment. And that's the beauty of it. It's like, as humans, we got to know that isolation is not the answer. Matter of fact, that's what causes a lot of people to get, when you're depressed, you get more depressed because you're feeling like, man, I'm by myself in it. And then really, once you share what you're really going through, you know what? It's actually a bunch of people going through if it's not the same thing, it might be something similar, right? And so sometimes it's on us to create those communities because it's not out there. Like, that's why I like what you guys are doing, is because, okay, you saw a need, There is, hey, you looked around. There's nothing else like what we're doing around, so let's create it.
Yeah.
And you the person to do it, right? Or the team to do it. So there you go.
That's right.
All right, so last question. All right. I hope y'all loving the podcast, loving it. So if someone listening feels like they're stuck or out of alignment, what's the very first step they can take today to liberate their dreams and move forward?
First step, sit with yourself. Sit with yourself. If you can, literally be by yourself. So that way your energy, your space is just yours. And actually sit with that. And decide how you feel. Think about that goal or that dream. Why is it heavy? Why are you not pursuing it? Are there limiting beliefs? Is it that autopilot mindset that's kicking in from things that aren't true anymore? Those things are not true. All that stuff I was thinking about from back in the day that keeps popping up, that stuff's not true anymore. I'm not even that same person anymore, right? So sit with yourself. Ask yourself those questions. Allow yourself to feel those feels. Yeah, feel those feels.
Okay.
And then go forward. That will be my, I would say, first step. That has helped me because it definitely needs to be a you journey. You need to be locked into yourself in order to be able to push past any type of blockages. From my personal experience of what I've seen, if you're trying to include people in that, you're going to end up right back where you're at, which is in a little bit of a frenzy and not making any traction or going anywhere. So definitely being okay with sitting with yourself. That's not something we really do as a people.
Yeah, because most people tell, oh, get out there and do something. It's like, no, I need a moment to just
you really need to
process this. I need time to sit down, figure out like, okay, why am I feeling this way? What's going on?
And is this really what I want to do? Where did that idea come from? Is it truly mine, or is this an inception moment? Like, what's happening?
Yeah.
You have to gain control of that first.
Yeah, that's key, man, because one of the things I talk about in my workshops is, are you pursuing your dreams? Or are you pursuing your parents' dreams or your brother's dreams or your sister's dreams because they told you that's what you should be doing?
Or the church's dreams.
Or the religion or whatever.
That's
a lot of times, those people sit in the room and they're like, their mouths drop because it's like, you know what, man? I didn't even realize like this ain't even my dream. I remember when I was going to St. Leo University. Shout out St. Leo University. It was so many island kids, right? And when you would ask them like, hey, what are you here for? They'd be like, oh, my mom or my parents want me to be a doctor or they want me to be a lawyer. And then you ask, well, what about you? It's like, I don't know what I want to do. So you end up pursuing someone else's dream all that time. And it's like they never figure out like what is it that they're passionate about. I would say for me, one thing you can do and it really helped me is you need to be in a place to forgive yourself.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of times we go like, oh, you need to forgive this person. You need to forgive this person. You need to forgive yourself. Because a lot of times we are making decisions based off of misinformation or based off of someone else's intentions that they want you to live out, right? And so we got to get in a place where you say, you know what? I forgive myself for for doubting my thoughts, my goals, my dreams, and just embodying what someone else told me I should be doing.
Exactly.
Right? And so we just got to get in a place of being in a position where, you know what, I forgive myself. I made those mistakes, but I'm moving forward.
That's my motto, a little bit now. Is acceptance, forgiveness, and then healing.
Ooh.
So it's like I have to accept all the things, meaning my part in a situation and the other party. I have to, I had to accept, okay, I did voluntarily join a coercive environment. Until I just accepted that, I was constantly just forcing the blame over there. But guess what? I didn't get to a place of healing. Right. So after accepting, then I said, okay, I can forgive, but I had to come back and forgive myself. So now that I'm forgiving, that gave me understanding. Yep. I have the accountability. I have now empathy for not just myself, but the other side. It's like I have a really clear perspective now. It's unbiased. That's right, and healthy. Yep. And now it allows me to do those healings to be able to get to that place. So that self-forgiveness is intense. And I will tell somebody, you might make sure you stretch. You gotta warm up first. You don't want to pull a hammy, but that's some heavy lifting right there. But it's doable and it can be done.
Yes, I love that. All right, guys. So we want to end this on a high note. All right. So if the Rita Ivy could tell the people, how can they find you on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, what you own, website, share all that with the people.
Google me. No, just kidding. I'm Googleable out here in these streets.
What?
I'm googly.
Hey.
But no, you can. You can definitely find me on Instagram, Rita Ivy, _Rita Ivy. That's usually how it is, because and I have 2 pages, personal page, model page. Obviously, you'll see the photos. Liberated Consciousness is also on Instagram. LiberatedConsciousness.org is the website. LinkedIn, Rita Ivy. So I try to keep everything, the same from a branding perspective. I don't want to be throwing everybody off.
I wonder where you learned that from.
I lucid dream a lot, so I think that's where I taught myself that concept. No, I'm just joking. I got you, Coach.
I was going to say, so she ain't going to give her brother no credit.
No coins. No, I got you. Get all the coins, bro, man. Yes, exactly. So that's where you can find me. I'm not hard to find. I'm out here.
And she out here. All right. So once again, we want to thank you all for listening to the Manifest Your Dreams podcast. Make sure you download it, like it, share it, comment on the YouTube page. And remember, let's get to these goals and dreams together.